I'm an addict named Mark.
Mark.
Let's open up this meeting with a moment of silence, and you can give a silent prayer to the God of your understanding. Thank you. This meeting's called Shared Reflections. For those of you that haven't been in it before, share about what happened to you this weekend, what you got here, what you're leaving here. We really don't care if your boss is an asshole. If you feel like you have to share about that, tell us what you did to get through it, because we know that your boss is an asshole already. Another miracle, number 21. I stood up here at number 1, and it's an honor to be standing here again. For me, the weekend, I got to see old friends, people that I only see once a year. I got to make some new friends, people that hopefully I'll see here again next year. I've always been involved in this thing in one way or another, and this year I tried to let go. And next year I'm going to try to let go even more. This is the first year I actually got out and hung out for a while. And so it's my turn to hang out, and you people's turn to volunteer and do some service work here and keep this thing going. And it would be my hope that it doesn't change, that it stays like it is, even long after I'm gone. This is a quiet place, a serene place. It's a healing place. We come here and we heal while we're here. I just got to say this, there's been talk of maybe having dances here. I guess that's up to the people here if they want that kind of thing here or not. I'm trying to let go. I didn't yell once during the business meeting last night. I really didn't have anything to yell about, Ask y'all to bring a newcomer with you next year. Keep coming, drive home safe. Share about this place when you get home. Share with your friends what you got here and what they could have had that they missed. And I'll see you all again next year, God willing. So we're going to open this mic up, and remember that don't come up here and talk for a half hour, because we got a lot of people that want to come up here. So let's try to get everybody up here in the next 2 hours and reflect on what this meant to you, what you got here. So there's a cord right here, so if you would all come around this way so we don't trip on the cord. We'll open the mic up for anybody that wants to come up, and before you leave the podium, hug the person that's coming up. Who's next? I'm done.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
Hello, family. I'm Cynthia, and I'm an addict. Wow. I probably came here years ago when this place was in the single digits. This is probably my 5th time coming here, not consistently, but just throughout time. What I got when I came here is I knew I had to get away. I knew I had to break away because I had lost total focus of myself, period. Total focus, because I made everybody else's stuff voluntarily my stuff. I did have some pain that was necessary in life on life's own terms. Then you had to have Phil here from my hometown. And, just struggling with going back home for years. I'm with Sandy. Sandy said, sell the house. Go back home. Start all over again. And I get there, but then I find ways, just like you can do in service work or anything else, to distract myself with other people's problems, fixing other stuff, and get stuck. And then I lose focus on what I need to do. Or either I'm doing it purposely because I have fear, just like everybody else, right? And of starting over again. Fear of needing help from someone else because I can do it all by myself. I can fix it. I can do it alone. Fear of not having total independence and control. So what happened is I ran away this weekend. I didn't bring no wig. I didn't color my hair. I didn't do all those different things where I'm not accepting myself and my change with life, because I was 28 when I got here and I'm 48. And I'm somebody's grandmother. I brought one pair of comfortable sneakers and a pair of slippers, and I didn't even put any earrings on this morning. And so I was prepared to strip spiritually. I just had to get there. And so I got up, and this stuff was going on inside me, and I got in the car and I played my Louis Armstrong, I Think to Myself What a Wonderful World, and I pushed it back down, and I kept choking, and I kept laughing, and I kept singing. And sometimes you can't hide it anymore because the truth will just expose itself, and the pain was right there, and it went here, and then it was here, and then it was here, and I'm standing in front of the room in front of all these people, and this stuff is coming out, and it's just coming out. And I'm talking about everything else and everybody else but what I really need to do, because I lost sight. So getting back on that track, I'm just grateful just walking through here, listening to the rocks and the people and the laughter and the spirits where we connected, and the new people like my friend Mary over there, and her love, and just thank you all. Even Robert. We got him to sing last night, so just thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. And you did have music here before. I'm quite sure you had karaoke in that other building in the basement. Okay? I remember that. I don't know why you stopped, but anyway. Music's good for the soul. It's laughter to the soul. Thanks for appreciating it.
Thank you, Cynthia.
I'm sorry. Total self-centeredness. Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Jimmy S. I'm an addict, and I like how she left off with music and laughter, because I get more of that in its like purest form here than I do anywhere else all year, because I listen to the radio in my car nonstop, and at work the radio's always on, but here it's neat. We have to make our own music. A couple people bring musical instruments, and those that can sing, and even those of us that like to sing but can't, just jump in and sing and tell jokes and whatnot, and just it's always a lot of fun. And I'm lucky to get here every year, because seems like the last couple of years it's been kind of stressful, just pulling together the resources to get here through work and selling. Some years I just like I'll do whatever. I'll do it. I'll get here. The musical instruments and stuff I had to sell to get here in years past. Those can be replaced. They'll still make another Fender reissue bass, and then maybe in a couple years I'll have enough money to get one. But once this is gone, Friday to Monday, that's it. I got my $120. That $120. That's not that you can't get like this year's model of this product again. I mean, it's a limited edition. Because it's different. It's the same. I mean, it's a little different every year. And it's precious every year. And this year was definitely a vintage year. It says every year. It's been great, but every year it's a little different. And I thought I might miss it this year due to financial reasons. And then I get down here, I'm telling one of my buddies, man, I was like, money was a little tight this last week coming up here. He's like, we would have got you down here. And I don't want to have to do that, and I haven't yet, but it's nice to know that I could, from what my buddy told me. And I don't know, glad, and I'll close with just a big shout out to the Camp Max staff and to those North Central people that made this possible. And I don't know. Thanks a lot, everybody. I had a great time this year. And all right, who do I get to hug and give the mic to?
I'll say hi, family. My name is Sandy. Oh my God. I had stopped coming to Camp Mac because my girlfriend Vicky, a lot of people know me and Vicky started coming here together back in '96. Yeah. And we came every year together. And then Maria joined us. And when Vicky met somebody and moved to Alabama, and she, not going to Camp Mac anymore. And I thought, I went one time, and my mind told me that I didn't enjoy myself here. So I didn't. 3 years, Maria would call me every year. Sandy, you going? No. Sandy, you going? No. Sandy, you going? No. And I was going through so much pain. You know how God put different things in your life. And I was going through some pain. And I said, oh God, how can I relieve this pain? And then Camp Mac came to me. And so when Maria called me and said, Sandy, you going to Camp Mac? I said, yeah. I was, I thought I couldn't have no fun here without Vicky. I really did. Our thinking, my thinking tells me all kind of stuff. That you can't enjoy yourself in Camp Mac if Vicky's not with you. So, it's good to be back here, to see everybody. I called Vicky when I got here. And Vicky said I might just come next year. Because I know she loved Camp Mac. 2 or 3 months before the date would come, me and Vicky and Maria start saying, Camp Want a Booty. Can't we get ready to go to Camp Want a Booty? I mean, this is 2 or 3 months before the time. So I'm just glad to be here, and I got my help that I needed from y'all, like I always did from Camp Mac. From 16 years, if I'm going through something, Camp Mac, I remember, I'm going to say this in close, I remember I had lost my 16-year-old daughter in my addiction. I never shared about it. 10 years in the fellowship. Nobody never knew I lost a daughter. Maria never knew. Vicky never knew. Nobody never knew. It was too painful I couldn't share. It was a Camp Mac that made me open up. And when you open up and you start telling what's going on with you, that's when the healing starts. So I love Camp Mac, and I will be back here next year, and hopefully Vicky will be here too. Thank you.
Shannon Maddock. I wasn't here at number 1. I was at ISNAC 1. I don't know, second or third year I started coming here. Maria and Skip used to stay in this room over here. And Skip always called it his happy place, and I confiscated that name, I think, because it's a happy place. And the first year I came here, it was wonderful. The next year I expected it to be the same, and I got depressed because it wasn't. And then I realized every year is different. Well, here this year is different again. And I copped an attitude because this fire used to be the main fire. And everybody has their little cliques. You know, we got Kobe World and all the other things, and the camp people, the tent people, whatever. But the fire was where everybody got together and socialized and did the bongos and guitars and singing. And for some reason this year, nobody did the fire. Everybody had like 10 different fires going. So we didn't have the close knit. It's like we're all cliquish over here, and everybody's separated in their own little families and groups, and it made you go out and try and search to find people, and then I don't know, it just was different. So next year I'm gonna put all the fires out, so everybody's got to come over here. My daughter is sitting over here. She's 24, and we first come in here, you know, she was little, and then lo and behold, 5 years ago, I got pregnant again. And the committee here was kind enough, you know, to work with me to keep me in a room in here to keep Carly safe, and because she had oxygen and stuff. And so I appreciate everybody who helped with that. April 12th, she passed away. And she had a bad heart condition, so this is our first year without Carly. And for anybody who doesn't know, she was a little Downs girl that used to run around out here. And, you know, she came with stuff attached, and the next year less was attached, and then the third, you know, she got off the oxygen, and, you know, she learned how to walk and crawl and everything out here. And this was her happy place. So, anyway, if you're going through anything, this is the place we drop it and heal, or put closure on things, or start opening up on things. And you know, I haven't really shared a lot about Miss Carly, it seems like, because I don't know, the more I talk about it, the more I cry. So if I don't talk about it, I'm not going to cry. But I'm just thankful for everybody being here all these years and watching, you know, like Jean's been through stuff. You know, we worry when people don't show up, and we watch each other. It's like we don't see each other for a year. When we see each other, just like we saw each other yesterday. This is a family thing. And we might not know everybody's names, but we know faces and worry about each other. So that's all I got. Who's next? Oh, by the way, I'm bringing I hope everyone don't mad, but we're getting karaoke again next year. We're gonna get speakers, and we're gonna have a room that will not disrupt everybody, because we got a little loud last couple nights. So whoever was sleeping in here, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have fun.
I'm Attic. My name's Robert. Hi, family. Wow. Another exciting weekend, great weekend. Thanks to the committee. Thanks for putting this on. All the hard work you guys do. Thanks. I had a beautiful weekend. And like I just heard, it was different. It was really different for me this time, because I'm usually coming up here with a crew. Yeah. You know, and my crew's not here. And I almost didn't come. You know, but I had made a commitment to come, but it was just different. I missed the cookout that we cook out. You know, I missed the guys. But I also heard just now that the people that I see on a regular basis, I'm glad to see them. You know, the faces. I might not know all the names, but I know the faces. You know, and I'm so glad I came this time. You know, I was just listening to the workshops and the speakers, and a few things stuck out, especially when Phil said last night that, you know, we listen, we pay attention, it's quiet. Back in the city at meetings, I can't hear stuff and it's chaotic. But here, I can focus. I can hear things that I need to hear. Like Rob shared at the workshop, when I come through that gate, you know, as soon as I enter that gate, it's magical. You know, I get here at the lake and I look out the lake and sit and watch the chipmunks go by, and I say, wow, this is it. This is peace. This is quiet. This will last me till next year. You know, I make a lot of conventions, but this one, you know, it's something about it. You know, I can drop stuff. I can get with me. You know, the hugs. You know, all that's important today. You know, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that this place is here, and you know, I'm grateful that I woke up and able to make it here. You know, it gets tight sometimes. Like I say, I almost didn't make it financially, and you know, with the missing the guys. But you know, I'm so glad I came. You know, I'm so glad I came, and like I said, this will last me for the rest of the year, and it's just important to me, you all. I look forward to this every year, and thank you for coming up with me. The ladies came this time. You know, the ladies came. The guys didn't come, but the ladies came, and that was great. But I had a fantastic time, and I hate to. The bad part is I have to go back. I got to go back to the madness. But I'm full. I'm full. I can run that tape back and remember all the good sharing, and you know, I listened to Amanda. I listened to Phil, I listened to workshops. I said, wow, this is good stuff, you know. And it never ceases to amaze me. It don't matter how long you've been around here. Like the book say, this is a place for learning. You know, I learned stuff. Thank you. That's all I got. Thanks.
Yeah, Manek and Brian.
Hi, Brian.
I'm really glad I came up here. I'm up here because Derek texted me on Wednesday and said, "Are you coming?" And I was like, "Oh, right." And I had no reason not to. But, you know, if anybody is up here for their first time this week, I don't think there's anything, you know what I mean? Like, if you ask that person whether or not this is an amazing convention, they're going to tell you yes. There's nobody that came here for the first time this year and went, "It was okay, I guess." It's just great. It's a fantastic convention, you know, and it is different. I mean, it changed, but, you know, I can't shoot on myself. There's no point in it. I should have done this. I should have done that. I'm shooting on myself. There's no point. You know, I didn't go to any workshops yesterday, and I spent the first 2 workshops I didn't go to going, man, I should go. It's a workshop on commitment, but I don't want to commit, you know. But I mean, part of being up here, there's a reason. You know, it's cool. It's cool, man. I mean, if anytime you want to go kick it, there's somebody kicking it. Somebody didn't go to the workshop, so that's cool. You know, but if you want to go to the workshop, we're there too. You know, I thought it was pretty wild that there was like this migrant fire thing going on this year, and I thought it was kind of wild. You know, it was kind of like the old days of where's the party at? Where's it at? Where are we at? Party at Mark and Deb's. So you know, it's cool, man, and I want to commit to coming here every year, and my civilian wife may make that difficult, but I'm going to work on it anyways, you know. Civilian. I called her yesterday and I said, you know what, I've decided I really just want to come to this every year, and she goes, well, it's a holiday weekend, and you know, other things might come up. I'm like, would you just let me have this? Just let me pretend I'm going to come every year till the end of the conversation. You can harsh my gig next year, you know, but I always feel so welcome here, you know, and I feel like, and now I've come, this is my 3rd time here, and I've come enough that you guys know me well enough that, like, you know, we get to chit-chat and gossip, and I learn creepy little symbols and things that you guys are talking about, and And just when I feel like I've seen the dark, deep underbelly of you, I find that that's inaccurate. But there's a lot of camaraderie here, and there's a lot of fellowship here, and I get to see people here that I only get to see, and it's amazing that I haven't seen people in years, and I come back and it's like nothing, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing, and I got so much love for the people that are here, and for everything you've done for me. I've learned so much this weekend. I spent this weekend with a bunch of people who know why we're in recovery, what it means, how serious it is, and how true it is. Just face value, man. Recovery is important. It matters. It's real. It's true. It's good. It's healthy, and it makes my life better. That's all fact. And I needed that because in my area there's so many people relapsing, just going back to social drinking. That's, I want to be normal, whatever the hell that means, and you just, that little murmur, that little lull, it starts talking to you and you start buying it. And I'm not saying that I bought it, but it makes you just start, slowly it eats away at the base of what it is that you understand, and to come and be around people who want to be in recovery and who want to be here and are working on stuff and are real about it. It's untouchable. And I just want to say, man, this is good times. This is good times. And I have to make sure I have to make sure to watch myself when I talk about the old days, because I got to realize that I'm in them. 10 years from now, I'm going to talk about the good old days. And I got to remind myself that I'm living them, so I don't just blow by them and then start talking about them 10 years later and how great they were. Man, they're great right the hell now. So, thanks.
I don't want to call it your lead, but yeah. Good morning, everybody. My name is Isabel, and I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. Hi, everybody. Glad to be here. Glad to be clean and sober. I want to thank God first and foremost for allowing me to be here today, clean and sober. And I definitely want to thank the committee for putting this together, because it does take a lot of work. I do know that for a fact, and they've done a really great job carrying the message, I guess. A lot of meetings here, workshop, and I've learned a lot. Taking a little bit of here, there. For those of you that know me, I've been hiding out in AA for 6 years, and I've just been with NA now for 2 months. And there's no doubt about it, but coming here this weekend with you people, I feel just like I'm at home. It's a lot more fun too, but don't tell my AA friends that. Yeah. So Camp Kobe was fun, it was just nice. I wanted to come here this weekend to get away, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come or not. I kind of like Sandy's story, or your story. I just kind of, I was winging it, and I just, playing it by ear. And it's been, like a mini vacation, no pressure, sleep in if you want, go here, go there, hang with friends, all over the campground. Rose and I rode all around the lake, wherever she at. That was a lot of fun. Arms are sore, but that was a lot of fun. And talked. My arms are sore. Yeah. Talked and fellowshipped, climbed a tree with Brian over here, just sitting around the campfire, Camp Kobe. Oh my God, did he put on a spread? They put on a spread last night. That was incredible. But I learned just so much here, that this is, people are family, and definitely family, and I'm truly grateful. And it makes me just think about, going home and the continuousness of this, getting involved in service work, whatever GSR positions and whatnot, to keep this going. So very happy and glad to be here, and, all the friends that I've met, you guys are wonderful. Love my roommate. She's awesome. Thank you, Mr. New York. And that's about all I got. Thank you. Thanks. There we go. Pass it on. Good morning. Watch the cord.
am Loretta and I'm an addict. I am always grateful when I come here. You know, in a way it was different, but in a way it was the same, because I always get what I need, and each year is different with what I need, and it always fits. So the way things happen may have been different, but getting what I needed was the same. You know, I thank this committee. I'm so glad that y'all chose to have that convention here. It is so peaceful here. And for the past 2 years, a lot of y'all know I've been sick. And I'm still sick. But I'm okay. My kids know that every year I'm coming here. So they started making arrangements on who's gonna take care of the dog and when they're gonna go to the house and all of that stuff, because they know I'm coming here. You know, and since I've been sick, 2 years ago, 2 days before I left to come here, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I didn't know the night before we left, my lung had collapsed. But I came. And y'all love me so well. You know, the cancer's gone now. But they found a whole bunch of other stuff. And, you know, I know y'all seen me at some point. I'd be sitting straight up in a chair, or either I'd be walking real slow, or I'm shaking and can't hold my food on the fork. Some of the stuff they know what's going on, some of the stuff they don't. And I had said to some friends of mine, they were saying, "Are you sure you need to go on this trip?" I said, "Let me tell you this. If I can get to Camp Mac, I can deal with anything going on with me, and I can get through it." So I mainly wanted to say, all of you, and I have seen y'all faces and y'all know who y'all are, that are worried about me, know that no matter what happened or what happens, because I'll have surgery June 18th on my back, just know I'm okay. I'm okay with whatever happens. And I was telling people, if I end up being paralyzed from the waist down, I got an electric wheelchair at home. All I can say is, don't be in front of me. Because if you walk too slow, I'm gonna run your ass over. You know, and at home I'm very bossy at the meetings, because everybody is my child as far as I'm concerned. And I give out homework. You know, and I told them, do you really think that I'm not gonna be okay? And I'm gonna give up being able to boss y'all? Is you crazy? That's too much fun. You know? I got to be here to boss somebody. So I ain't going nowhere. And whatever happens, I'll be at Camp Mac next year. I might be coming from St. Louis, but I'll be here. You know, because y'all love me too well for me to miss this. You know, I did a lot of resting this weekend, but I also met a lot of people. And for the women, y'all know who you are when we had that women's table last night. Oh man, that made my weekend. Because we talked about some stuff. And we got some solutions. And It was just awesome. I don't know all of y'all's names. The people that I've seen up here for years. I think we've been coming up here, 13 years? Has it been almost that long? And I know faces. And even if I met you last night, I can't remember your name, but that's okay. Because I'll ask you again. And then I'll ask you again. That's what chemo and menopause and getting old does to your brain. So, just say, okay, it's that crazy lady, can't remember nothing. My name is. But I am just truly, truly grateful to all of y'all for loving me the way y'all love me. I can't get this anywhere else. Yes, I miss my brothers that didn't come with me, but I'm so glad you came, because you know good and well I ain't driving. And one of y'all got to bring me. And Robert knows if ain't nobody else coming, I'm coming. So thank you. Come on, woman, you slow. I gotta sit down. Look out for the cord.
Okay.
This is my sister-in-law, so pay us no attention.
It's really ironic. Both of us almost have the same condition. Hers is worse than mine. My name is Chris, by the way. Hey, Chris. This is the most I've ever spoke in front of a group of people in my life and felt comfortable. I just felt so led to get up and thank each and every one of you guys for showing me love. Love that I haven't felt in a long time. This was my first time here at Camp Mac. I guess you could say I'm in it, baby, even though I've been clean in my life. Because Retta, she showed me the program. And I thank God for my sister-in-law, which is really, I'm gonna erase the in-law part. That's my sister, because I don't have any siblings. But to make a long story short, I just wanted to thank the staff. Each and every one of you that has touched me, or I've touched you, in one way or another, thank you. Ooh, pretty smart.
Careful of the cord.
Oh, it's because my feet are wet.
Oh, be careful.
Okay, I have to ask, what in the heck is this thing?
That's the microphone that's recording this.
Oh, okay, because it doesn't seem to make anybody's voice louder. Because I couldn't hear people. Okay, because I couldn't hear people when I'm sitting back there that were up here. But I'm Mary Ann, and this is my first year here, and I haven't been in NA very long, so don't know a whole lot about you. And I just want to say thank you for everybody for putting this together, because y'all did a great job. You had super speakers, and I feel bad I don't know people's names, so I just tell people usually it's like I'm having a senior moment. So if I know your name today, you might have to tell me your name tomorrow, and you might even have to tell me tonight. But I just want to say how important it is at your meetings when you go back home, to kind of open up to people a little bit next year, because Shannon was such a doll this year. I've been going to some meetings, and she's been in charge of some of the meetings I've gone to, and I've seen her at some of the other meetings, but didn't really know her. And I'd heard, she lost her daughter, but didn't really know what was going on with that. And like last Tuesday, I'm at the meeting, and she goes, oh, you need to go. She told us about the camp. Everybody else is in the meeting and they go, is there any NA business? And they go, oh yeah, there's camp, blah, 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 this weekend and blah, 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 that weekend. And you know, for us, and I'm an introvert, okay, so this is really hard for me to even come out of my shell. And so for us that don't understand what you do or where your camp is or what your camp does, because I'm thinking, okay, is this like Bible camp? What is this? Actually shared in the meeting some about what you do here. It's, you know, while it's fun, my kids come up every year, my kids have friends that come up every year, it's really a family thing. Oh, you'll be fine, if, you know, because me, introverts, going, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody there. I'm not going to know anybody there. And that's really scary. And I didn't get invited to wherever Kobe campfire. I don't even know who Kobe is, but it was a little hard trying to find the right campfire. And I certainly enjoy the people that are talented enough to play their guitars and ukuleles and sing, and I didn't think I heard any drums. But I have really made some wonderful friends, because not only did Shannon invite me here, she invited me to stay at her cabin. So I didn't have to stay by myself.
Love you, Mary. Love you, Mary. Keep talking.
So, and I got to meet everybody in the cabin. It was so much fun. And, you know, she's just like, oh, just go sit at the table. Ooh, that's not me. And, but I will say that y'all missed karaoke night, because we had a great time. And you probably wouldn't have known that night that I was an introvert. Although it did take me a little while, Cynthia, to kind of get in there with the group. And, you know, I think I was trying to see where JJ was, because he sang one of the songs from Poison one night. And I said, oh my God, the last time I heard some of these songs, I was dancing on a coffee table. So, you know, it was a lot of fun, and y'all just really missed a great time. And we do apologize if we kept you up, because I didn't realize people slept here. So, you know, it was really like, oh my God, you mean there's people here? We had that sucker turned up all the way. And it just was even nice that I got to meet even more new friends. And so Cynthia, I know, and her, Sandy's little daughter, Phoenix, granddaughter, I guess, was down there with us. And it took us most of the night to get her up to dance, but she got up and danced with us too. And then we're still singing, and she falls asleep with the music blaring. And was just a sweetheart, didn't ever ask about, oh, turn it down, you're too loud, you're making too much noise. So last night we had karaoke again. We got a few more new people. Of course, we had to wake up Loretta to find the phone first. And I felt bad. I went, oh my God, there's somebody asleep already? But under the circumstances, Loretta probably needed a rest. And got to meet Robert and hear him sing. So some of you got some pretty darn good voices and moves. And for all of you that did the committee, Maria, my other soul sister, and Carrie. So it's like I know a few of your names, and some of you I don't know your names, but I will tell you, you did wonderful speeches. Loved your workshop. So sorry that a lot more people didn't come to some of them, you know, because at some of them there weren't really that many people there, and they were some pretty good ones. And so I actually, Shannon made me get up this morning and come and eat breakfast, because I'm on a diet. I started a diet. So, and I'm giving up caffeine, and so I've had these headaches, but today, no headaches. And she's like, no, you need to come up and eat with us. Just come on up and sit up there and eat with us and socialize. And so I originally sat at that table because that was safe, you know, like I know them. And then they got up and sat at another table, and I came and actually asked somebody if I could sit at their table that I didn't know. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done this. But I did. So I would just tell you, thank you for being welcoming for people. And it's just been a lot of fun, and I hope to get some numbers here for people before they leave. And all of you speakers, just some of you had just such really inspirational stories. It's a shame that everybody didn't hear them, but I guess you put them online and they can, or the website, I don't know where you put it, but anyway, it was just great fun, and actually I'm looking forward to karaoke next year, and we're going to come up with 2 microphones and the words. I don't know the words. So thank you, and I had a great weekend. Hopefully we'll all be just fine and nobody gets sick with their cold soreness. So thanks a whole lot to all of you. Oh, Amy girl. Another karaoke fan here. Amy girl.
Okay. Hi, my name is Amy. I'm an addict. I came here with a bad attitude and a truck. And I'm leaving here with a feeling, a sense that I have friends and family and a good attitude about being able to go back into the world. And found so many things here that were points of reference for me to feel like I'm not alone, because addicts often feel alone. Whether it was the bonding at our women's meeting and acceptance that I found here, talking with other CNAs and nursing people, that we were able to share stories and what that's like to work in that field. The youth, the energy of young people around, that I don't have grandkids and my kids are grown. I just got everything that the Spirit knows that I needed, you know, and able to talk to people that didn't think it's weird to want to carry a stick or look for special rocks, and everything here that the Spirit knew that I needed to have for healing, I found in one way or another. And I'm just blessed that it was here, and thankful for I don't want to cry. I've just been moved a lot by the things of people here, the depth I found in the people of this group to express themselves and be very real. And just, that's a gift right there, is for us to do that for each other. So I just want to see, God bless everybody here when you go back home. And I want to carry this with me too, and look forward to next year and more dancing. So.
I'm Johnny, and I'm an addict. And I'm grateful to be here and grateful to be clean. And I'm blessed. I've been here every year but 2 or 3 since '98. And this was the best one for me personally that I've ever been to. And the thing that was the best about it was my physical health has improved a lot, so I could do a lot more than I did. You know, last year on Sunday, I spent the whole time in bed because my health was bad. And for you, next year, start looking for 4-leaf clovers, because there's hundreds of them here.
Yeah. Sure, like morel mushrooms are everywhere.
I'm telling you that there's such a pleasure when I think about the people's lives that I've been able to be a part of because of this. And I'm a real emotional person. If I start crying, you don't have to come up and hug me, okay? I can get through it because I enjoy the emotion. You know, when I come in, I sat down and I told Phil that this is the sad one. And Derek corrected me like he should have, because it's not sad, it's emotional. And emotions are to be felt, and I'm grateful that I can come up here and feel them. I know that I put a thing on Facebook before I came up here that this is my spiritual retreat. I come up here and let go of a lot of stuff. And this year has probably been one of the freeingest ones I've ever been to. And the pleasures, you know, I was, yesterday when I shared in a workshop, I told people what people told me at the very first NA meeting I went to in 1982. Now, I didn't get clean then. Didn't get clean till 88. But a guy told me that things beyond your wildest dreams could happen if you stayed clean. And I get to experience that here every year by seeing people come back. And just a couple of the joys that I get to really, really appreciate in the next week. I will get a visit with my second ex-wife's parents because they'll be coming to town from New Hampshire. Now, I've had 3 ex-wives, 2 in recovery. But I get along really good with them, you know? I mean, I get along really good with them. And if you don't take risks, you don't live. I don't care what anybody says. You know, people were talking about how different it is. They told me when I got here that it gets real first, and then it gets different, and then it gets real different. And then another thing that they said, it's not the change that kills us, it's the resistance to it. You know, it's right out of our literature. And I'm a freak when it comes to that. And I'm a freak on one fellowship, one sponsor, you know, and all that. So bear with me, okay? But I am, this next Saturday, my youngest son is going to be valedictorian of his high school class. The emotions of that are only allowed because of you guys. You know, I wouldn't even be in his life if I was still doing dope. You know, it's only through you that those kind of pleasures happen, and thank you very much.
Thanks,
Get up and do it.
Hi, I'm a little nervous. My name's Darlene Uminact. I think they should call this Camp Magic, not Camp Mac. It's a pretty nice place. This is my first year. I've been trying to come down for 3 years, but I stayed locked up, so just kept getting locked up. Well, I had a house arrest, and I was locked up, so it's really nice to be here. I'm home. I'm so happy and thankful I got to meet everybody. I came down with Bruce and Heidi, so I kind of felt like a third wheel, like, man, I'm not going to know anybody, but I really wanted to come. I'm coming anyway because, you know, my higher power is telling me that this is what I need to do, and Bruce made a way for me to come, so thank you, Bruce, anyway. But I got down here, and I was like, man, I'm really kind of nervous, and we went downstairs to have pizza, and I sat with someone, and we helped move some benches when we first got here, and she was so nice, and we sat downstairs, and we had some pizza together, and we got to talk, and I got to know her this weekend, and now she's my sponsor, because I didn't have her. Yeah, she's pretty great. So I'm real excited about that, and everybody was there was just so much support and love. Saturday night was just magical, the speaker meeting last night, you were terrific, everybody was great, and I just learned so much, and, you know, I felt so alone before, a little lost just getting out, and you know, trying to get my bearings, and then I come down here and everybody's just like, here we are, let's hug, you know, and I'm looking around saying, hoping I don't get in trouble for hugging somebody, you know, because when you're locked up, you can't hug people. You get a 216, they call it, but anyway, so it's just kind of it's different to hug and be touched, but, you know, I think somebody told me just recently that if you hug for so many minutes a day, it helps make depression go away. Well, I'm not depressed anymore. I had a lot of hugs this weekend, but you guys are all great, you know, and it's so nice to be around people that are doing the same things. You know, when you're out there, I think Brian said he's got a civilian wife, well, when you're out there with civilians, they don't understand you. And when you come into a meeting or you come to things like this, everybody else is an addict, so they understand where you're coming from, and you're not alone, you know, so that feels pretty good. And I've met so many new people and had such a great time. and it's really good to see. I came back and see some of the old faces that were here when I left, and I'm just really grateful to be here, and thanks everybody.
I know. Get used to it. Hi, I'm an addict. My name's Tom. Hey, Tom. It's really great to be here this year, and I'm here with my lovely wife. She said that she was going to be. She said she was going to be out of her comfort zone. I think she found her new comfort zone, and if all of y'all tolerate it, I'd love to have her come up here and share whatever she's feeling. She's shy.
What am I supposed to say?
Whatever you want. How do you feel about everything that happened this weekend?
I really like NA. I like the openness. I love the openness of it. You people are real and honest, and that takes a lot of courage. Just takes courage. I've never done this before, and I hope I don't blow it.
You can't blow it.
Just the openness, and like I said, it's just really fantastic. I see myself, I see my personality and all the emotions that everybody else has, and I was telling Phil last night, I did at one time want to speak up. I took but I didn't finish. I didn't pursue it because I just backed down. I did have a prescription addiction one time years ago. My ex-husband took sick, and his mentality was, take a pill, it'll make you feel better. So there was an exchange of his narcotics into my body, because it made you feel better. But I don't do that anymore. I quit doing that around 2006 when I had been helped by a nutritional neuropathic doctor who said, Jan, you have not had years of depression. You have a low thyroid that's causing your depression, But medical doctors didn't do the right blood work to find out what was causing my depression. And I was always seeking something comfort, a comfort pill. The old mentality, take a pill, make it better. It didn't work. But I never pursued the steps of NA, and so that's probably why I've been quiet all this time. And my husband is the exceptional person he is because of the years' experience of NA. and I love every bit of every part of my husband. And the reason I'm dressed really cozy, warm, is because I have a fear of getting really sick. And I really prefer to be warm than be sick. Because when I get it, I'm down for a long time. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say, but thank you for everything and your love and support. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't leave till somebody hugs me. Kobe. Hi, Tom. Good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Kobe. The man, a legend.
I'm Colby, and I'm an addict. Thank you so much for everyone who put in work for this weekend. I know Mark and I talk, the convention committee, for them, Memorial Day weekend is a weekend of responsibility and planning and tasks and things to do and communication and a constant to-do list. And for me, it's an opportunity to come here and do whatever I want, and it's only because you do what you do that I get to feel that freedom. And I just want to make, I just want you to know, because if I don't say thank you for your service work, then you don't know that I'm grateful. And just like everyone who's expressed their gratitude, who can come here every year, it's only because of your hard work, And trust me, during the year, when because we all think about we grow with love during the year, and we can't wait. We think of you too. I mean, we think of you, and I wonder about your committee meetings, and if your service committee meetings are the same as ours, and I bet they are, and let me tell you that it's a great success every year. I wasn't gonna be able to come here, but things don't usually happen like I think they're gonna, and so I got to come, and I'm grateful. Most of you know my story. I got snored out of that room 16 years ago, and so I put my tent over behind the hedgerow, and people just kept coming and putting their tent over there. They wouldn't leave me alone. And I'm like, well, I like to camp, and they're like, they're like, shut up, quit isolating, and that's really what that's really what's going on. And you won't leave me alone, and so now we get all these tents. I keep moving my tent up the hill. I'm almost to the parking lot. And then I was having a tough time, and Sunday, yesterday, I'm like, well, I'm just going to take a nap, because I know what I need, and, two of my best friends in recovery are doing a workshop in 20 minutes, but if I just get some sleep, I'll feel a lot better. And it was hot in my tent, and so I stripped on my underwear, and it was bright, so I blindfolded myself with a bandana, like for a firing squad, That had nothing to do with all the pain I was in, though. And I start to lay down, and I hear my tent door unzip, and Dave is crawling in on my cot with me, and asking me which side of the spoon I want to be. You can't buy this, and you certainly can't make it up. So, but it's the people that make my experience here. It's those 5-minute, those 20-minute, those 2-hour one-on-ones with different people where I get to break down and let that go. They have to, that's what makes my experience here. We talked a lot about, the shame that we feel, and how to get out of the way. God's always there for me. And I ended up going to the workshop, and I felt really good after just having a good cry, and just letting it go, because all the stuff I carry around with me, it really ain't important. It just ain't important. I mean, is someone bleeding to death? I mean, this shit ain't important, man. I gotta feed this, and Because really, I don't like most of you. I don't want to. I don't want to hug you and touch you and talk to you. And I get here, and you put up with me, and you touch me, and you lift my spirit. And I need that. Thank you.
I'm Kim, and I'm an addict. And as a committee member, the committee is very grateful for Camp Colby and Colby World, whatever you want to call it, because, these guys, we look forward to seeing all the tents, and we look forward to the fact that the tents have gotten bigger, and they do service work, and it's like another venue at a venue, where everybody's, stopping by and trying the white key tag coffee, and it's just nice. I love it. I've had moments in recovery where service work, I don't want, I just backed away from a lot of it at one point and got involved with the committee again the last couple of years. And, a lot of people think I've been part of the committee the entire time I've been clean. I really have not. But this year, I'm the secretary of the committee, and you take minutes. Oops, And I got here Friday, and I'm blessed enough to get here early on Friday, and I started getting into the service work. And for the first time in a long time, it didn't feel like work. It was fun. I had fun doing service work. And the thing I've noticed throughout the weekend is a whole bunch of addicts seem to be having fun doing service work. I've watched people clean up, and all it's taken is, hey, I need a couple addicts to do this, and bam, addicts are on it, And I've watched addicts help other people, hold other people up. I personally had an experience this weekend where, I don't know about any of you guys, but where your ego gets bruised really bad, along with your physical. And, the addicts that I thought were just going to ream me for what I was doing, were very supportive, very uplifting, very encouraging. Even people who weren't with me when I had the experience were like, it'll be okay. We've all done it. We've all been there. It's like, well, okay. That's what this program's about. We help each other. We help each other with love. We help each other with encouragement. That's the way, to me, that's the way NA is supposed to be. All the ripping each other up and the disunity and all that dysfunctional stuff, that's not NA. NA is about unity and helping each other and uplifting each other and, taking life on life's terms, relationships, using them in the program and out of the program. And if we can remember to do that, we'll all grow with love. If you're like me, you watch TV and you think, what, the news? My God, ugh, turn it off. But it's life, and it's life on life's terms, but we don't have to get stuck there. We can remember how we've helped and assisted other people here and do that at home and do that at school and do that at work. And, we don't have to be all heavy-hearted and downtrodden because life is life, You dust yourself off and you get up, because if you don't, you're going to get ran over. But, I'm very grateful to be clean. I have laughed, and I did cry a little bit, but laughed and laughed and laughed. I laughed so hard last night, my stomach still hurts, and that's just a wonderful thing. And I've really enjoyed the roaming campfires this year. I've been to Camp Mac for I've been clean 17 years. I've been here 16 years at 17. I found campsites last night I didn't know existed. Because we went over to Camp Colby and they were all gone. And we were like, dang them. They went home, didn't tell us what kind are they. We were mad. We had a resentment. And then it was like, oh, they're over there with Mark and Debbie. Then we're like, where's Mark and Debbie? And then we're looking for the glow, and we saw this orange glow, and we followed the lights, and we were there till 3:30 in the morning. But I'm grateful to be clean. I'm just so grateful to see all you guys. Some of you I just met, and some of you I've known for years and years and years. There are people here who are my family. I say it all the time. They are closer to me than my blood relatives. They know me better than my blood relatives, and I'm very grateful for that. So
I will keep coming back, and I hope you all keep coming back. And together we grow with love.
Stay there, stay there.
My name is Jesse. I'm an addict. You know, this is my first time here, and I wasn't gonna come up here because it feels like I'm in my first meeting again. It's like I'm with people I don't know, and you know, but I have to do what I don't want to do. You know, and you know, it's like it's crazy to think like I come here, you know, I don't know anybody, and I know I have certain people that I'm with, and just the peace I get, you know, because you know it's the scenery, but it's not that, you know, like Kobe said, it's the people, you know, it's you know, I'm with people just like me, you know. If I hear by myself, I had no peace, you know, I'm my own worst enemy. But when I'm here with everybody like me, everybody trying to help me, it's just this peace I get, you know, this free, you know, I'm not worrying about stuff, and if I am, people are there to get me out of my head and, you know, keep me going. And I'm laughing so hard my cheekbones hurt, you know, and it's like something I never felt before, and it's like, it's you know, it's really cool to come here for a couple days, and you know, it's like I know a week from now I'm still gonna be smiling and thinking about the times I had here, a month, you know, and it's gonna keep me coming back. And you know, I just had a really great time with people I didn't know, meeting people, you know, just walking around and talking to people I don't know and laughing, you know, and you know, it was an amazing experience. But that's all I got.
Thanks, Jesse.
Had so much fun.
I'm Barbara, and I'm an addict.
Hi, Barb.
I'm so grateful. I had the most wonderful time. I am so very thankful to each of you. Y'all are such a loving set of loving people, and I'm so grateful for that, because it took me, I wanted to come then because Loretta called me, and I'm like, I'm gonna go, and then my husband couldn't come because he had to work. I'm like, I'm so used to him, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. So I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna go. And then I said, well, I don't have the money, and then all this money came in. I'm like, you know what, I'm supposed to be there, I'm going, you know. So I finally got up, and then he's driving slow to get me there. I'm like, hurry up, they're gonna leave me. I'm like, and I was just so grateful, because to me, Loretta is just awesome. She's like a wheel for me. You know, when I need to know something about this program, she's right on the point. You know, she's just like my sponsor. She's so loving, and she just, man, she's awesome. She's really awesome. She just don't know how much she helped others around her, and just how much of a blessing that she is to us. And just all of y'all, everybody I met was just the bomb. And I'm so grateful. I'd be able to tell him, and then I was isolating for a minute when I first got here. My husband called. I'm like, what is it? He was like, you're isolated, aren't you? I could tell in your voice. Stop it. Go meet people. I'm like, leave me alone. You're breaking up. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna do this thing. Because sometimes when I don't know people, I'm like, oh my God, I'm kind of like, oh, is it gonna be good event, or they're gonna let me have it? You know, so I have to ease my way out there, you know. And to me, it was just wonderful. I got out there, and every last person at the workshops, just everything was awesome. Thanks to the committee. Thanks to all of y'all. Y'all are a great group of people. My job thanks you, because when I go back, they're going to love me. Thanks. That's all I got. Thanks.
JP. Joe Phil, JP.
My name is Phil, and I'm an addict. And I'm going to be brief because I had my time last night. You certainly live up to your name. We grow with love. A lot of love this weekend. A lot of love, and it certainly is striking and touching how those of you who are regulars love each other. It seems that addicts need community. I really thought self-sufficiency could work all my life before I came to NA. But it is a lie. I need community. I need people with whom I have history. And it's been beautiful watching this happen. You have something special here, but all around the country and all around the world, there are other versions of We Grow with Love, with other communities of NA members who have a similar experience to what you've had. And what strikes me is the power of the NA program. I mean, we're people whose lives were to be given away, to be tossed away. We tossed ourselves under the bus. We were finished. We were through. And somehow we walk in the door and we respond to hope, the one spiritual principle one addict can give another. And we start the process of recovery, and we begin to feel better about ourselves, and we begin to reveal ourselves and share gut level, and slowly we change and grow with love. And we become one-of-a-kind personalities. As I was sitting in the workshops, the thing you call the aftershare, one person after another person, characters. We are characters. We are special, one-of-a-kind person, different from one another, real. We become more real. And it's just the most beautiful thing. And I mean, the person you see before me was nothing like the person I brought in here, was nothing like the person I was 10 years ago. It's an amazing process. And I just want to offer that this is happening all over. I make a lot of conventions, a lot of retreats, a lot of speaker jams, a lot of NA events. A few of them, a few big city conventions can be generic and impersonal, but most of them have a community and different groups of people, but the same thing that happens here happens all over many times. One last thing is some of you are talking about the depth of your sharing this weekend. That something about this place allows you to sit with people you know or people you don't know and get a little more honest. That's what we must do all year round. Use this as a model, but don't save your gut level sharing for Memorial Day weekend every year. That's how we get better. Find people, try them out for their trust, for your ability to trust them, and then give them more and be there for them. And that's how this works. And we get better and we find out who we are, and then we practice being that person because we never were that person, and then we grow. And the power of Narcotics Anonymous, the program, something about it, transformed lives. All these lives, all these people, all these special one-of-a-kind personalities that were worth nothing X number of years ago are so precious to other people today, thanks to Narcotics Anonymous. I'm forever grateful. I never thought I would have the wonderful life I have today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm an addict named Maria. What's up, Maria? Good. I heard somebody say it coming from Derek. It's not sad. I understand now. It's emotional. Because every year, I get emotional. I want to go home, right? Because look like I just be getting settled in, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm isolated. I'll be like, Kobe, there's nothing wrong with wanting to stay in the bed, is it? That's not isolating, is it? That's just tired. Look, I tried it all weekend, right? People was coming in the room, and I act like I was asleep. And I was laying there like this, I wish they'd get the hell out of here, right? Because I'm trying to be with me, right? But then knowing who I am, biggest isolator in the world. But that's Camp Mac. Every year is different for me. Every year. This year, I was glad to be able to be here for somebody else. You know, because we great people that, I don't know about y'all, but me, I have a disease that will create some drama where there is none. Right? And really, just a piece of it all. A lot of times I don't know how to just go with that. So it just hit me this weekend. God said, you're here for somebody else, Maria. Just be there and listen, because to be honest with y'all, I had a wonderful year. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's only because of this program. All weekend, what's been coming to my head is we are a special group of people that survived all odds. us. We are a special group of people. It's just something about Camp Mac. It's something, I talk to people from Detroit that I haven't never had in-depth conversation with. They right in my hometown. These people offered me so much. They gave me so much. They've been here year after year, and I just never stopped to talk to them. Never, because God is so awesome, he will not let me just isolate. They just can't, like, why are you coming over here? Don't you see me sitting here with my book? What do you want? you know? But that's just not the way it's supposed to be. And then I went through a little emotional thing, you know, with being used to seeing Shannon with the baby. And, you know, just a lot of that, you know, watching Ashley grow up here about the same time that Shannon's other baby was, almost that age. When Ashley started coming, and just, you know, all the emotional stuff that all the people that you have so much love for, and the stuff that makes you grow spiritually inside. This is definitely the right name for this convention. We do grow with love. Bringing my friends, coming with my friends, you know, just meeting new people. This child got so much energy. Amy, she has so much energy. She stayed in the cabin with us last night. I was like, I hope she go to sleep. Right. Right, you were waiting. No, I am now. Look. Here, I got coffee for you. But it's great to go somewhere that people don't mind seeing you coming. You know, people love you. You love the people. And I'm listening to all y'all talk about not remembering names. I was like, well, glad somebody else feels the same. I can't remember shit no more, man. You know, and I want to blame everything on menopause. Menopause. Hell, you're just getting old. Can't remember a lot. I love Camp Mac. I cannot ever accept the fact that it's time to go. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time accepting. I stay out here at 4 o'clock. Nobody else be out here. First time I asked the people, do you have a job I can do? Where I can live out here? Just don't want to go back, you know? Yeah. Peaceful. I love this stuff, and I love you guys. And when I come here, I feel love. It's not fake love. It's real love from people who are learning to love themselves, and that's an awesome thing. And I'm just so grateful. I wish Camp Mac was more than once a year. And the committee, thank you. You guys make it so possible. I don't care if it go up $10 every year. I'm coming. I'm coming because it's still, we can never pay enough. To me, it's never too much. It will never be too much to pay for what I get here. I'll see you guys next year. All right. Okay.
Hi everybody, I'm an addict. My name is Derek. You know, I always look forward to this portion of the convention, not because it's over and we get to go home, because that part does kind of bring, it's bittersweet. But just the joy that I get in my heart from all of you filling it with what you came here and got. You know, time after time, year after year, people come in here and say, man, I had all this crap that followed me all the way down here, and I went through that arch, and it all fell off, and I got what I needed here. And it don't matter, you know, whether you act out, you know, all year long doing stupid stuff, or whether you work your butt off on step work and you grow, and, you know, life happens, and it just, you know, that's the way it is. And something occurred to me when Maria was sharing, because I do it too, and it's not that I'm getting old and forgetful. It's just that over the years I've packed so much information up here that it's a little bit difficult from time to time to retrieve it. And I'm gonna go with that. I came here this year. My portion of service commitment to this committee was to just kind of play the mentoring role, you know, and help with programming. And Sarah's not here; she had to go home and be with her family. But I really appreciate her stepping up and learning how to do that portion. I love programming. I love finding speakers and putting together the topics for the workshops and all that kind of stuff. I didn't do any of it. We did that as a committee, and you guys did that by just showing us stuff throughout the year that gave us ideas for that'd be a good workshop topic. And so it just comes together that way, and it's a lot of fun doing it. And you know, I didn't just minter, that's for sure. If anybody saw me, I was all over the place this weekend, but I'm grateful for that because I moderated what I ate this year. I didn't overeat, and I walked back and forth across this campus I don't know how many times, and so I burned some calories, and so I'm not going to regret having been here and not being in the gym where I work out for 4 days, and it's going to be good. But there's just a certain few people, and I'm not going to mention any names, that I really dearly love, and I'm glad they're here, and you know who you are. And if I only I left the camp the campfire last night, and I said I hope it doesn't take a whole year to see you guys again, but if I don't, I'll see you next year here at Camp Mac. You know, and I'm involved with the Midwest Zonal Forum, so I will get out a little bit. So, you know, if you're inclined to see what the MZF does, we'll be in Detroit weekend after next on the 8th and 9th. So, you know, it's an amazing journey where this recovery thing takes us and where service takes us. And I'm a junkie. I'll always be involved with it one way or another. And I love doing it because you guys make it fun. And it was fun this year. So we still got a half an hour, so don't be shy.
Thanks, Derek.
Hey y'all, my name's Adam. I'm an addict. I'll try to make it brief. You know, last year I came here, I had like, I don't know, eight months-ish clean, you know, and of recovery for once. And I was scared, you know, because I never been to any freaking convention or, you know, and all that. And it was freaking hot. And I loved it, you know. A lot's changed, you know. Now I'm the second year at Camp Mac, working on 2 years of recovery, and, you know, life, you know, trying to be a productive member of society. I'm never going to work on acceptable yet. But, you know, I've been wrapped up the past 9 months or so, you know. Things have changed a lot, you know, for the better. But, you know, a year ago, I didn't have the responsibility I have now. And it's easy to lose touch and focus and all that. I'm so grateful for, you know, everyone that puts this on, for the place itself, and everyone that comes. This year I came and I slept a lot, and that's something I don't do at home now lately. You know, I don't get much sleep. You know, it wasn't as hot, but I have looked forward to this all year. You know, all year I have. I had some incidents with the Swan, you know, or two last year, and people that aren't in the fellowship, you know, I tell them, I don't tell them exactly what I was doing, not everyone, but I tell them, man, I went camping, I had this incident. So people that don't even know I'm in NA know about these freaking Swans, you know, and they weren't here this year. They must have been afraid, but or I'm blessed, one of the two. But I just wanted to thank everyone again, you know, and emphasize that I do look forward to this, and I have for 12 months looked forward to this, you know. I guess I have to tell myself, because last year I didn't want to leave, right? And I have to tell myself that that's what makes this so special, is I have to leave and wait another year, you know, because the things we wait the most for mean the most, you know. And with that, I'll keep coming back to Camp Mac.
Thanks, Adam.
Hi everyone, I'm Marcy. I'm an addict.
Hi, Marcy.
Hi. I for those of you that might have seen, I mean, I've been clean a while, and we go through phases in recovery, and I know that I have been going through a phase of, you know, just really accepting
life and accepting reality of getting older. And, you know, I mean, I sure don't remember any, you know, any lessons about this from my parents, or I don't remember, you know, learning about the growing older stuff. Like even in school, there's lessons about, you know, and then you reach puberty and you get to watch the film strips about, you know, and then you're going to change, your body changes shape. Women goes, you learn about some of that stuff. But I didn't really learn about growing older. I don't really remember learning about, like, whether it be, some women already have talked about menopause or something, you know, I mean, or just, you know, the learning about adapting to being a new physical form and not fighting it. And, you know, physically, you were saying you've been feeling good. I've actually had a very tough time with my health and physical being this weekend. But for me, I really had to work on acceptance of who I am in this moment, right here and now. And this weekend really helped. I had no idea before, like, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, that this even existed. I've been trying to make new friends. And for those of you that have talked to me, you've gotten to see more of who I really am. But those of you that have just seen me, I am, like, loud and outgoing, and that is really most my nature. But a lot of times it's, you know, my defense mechanism. The more, you know, hungry, angry, lonely, tired I get, the progressively louder I get, and that's like how you know me, and that I'm probably going through stuff, whereas other people might isolate. You know, growing up with 6 brothers and sisters, I wasn't allowed to do that. You know, there was no, so I didn't learn really that. But this time in my life right now, like, there's no rule book, and there was no lesson on how to get this way. And that book, you know, Living Clean, is fairly new, and it's like, it's nice that there's some new literature and new experiences and new people that I can have conversations with. And cumulatively, the amount of clean time out of the small group of people that attend this weekend, I think, is really an insurmountable number. I think if you added it up and compared it to other conventions per capita, there is a lot of clean time here, and not just clean time, but recovery time, and people that were willing to open up and share. And I had some really great focused conversations, and unlike my natural self, I had a lot of, like, one-on-one time with people, and a few conversations that lasted more than a couple of minutes. And I wasn't the, like, oh God, I have to say how much I loved, just, you're speaking about programming committee, I loved that there was only one workshop at a time. Either I go or I don't go. Oh my gosh, sometimes the choice and decision over which of the 4 or 5 workshops am I going to go to at a convention becomes like some major freaking life decision. You know, what if I pick the wrong one? You know, there's never a wrong meeting to be at or a wrong subject to listen to, or, you know, either it's something I knew, something I'm going through, something I might go through. I mean, maybe I just need to giggle in the back of the room with somebody. I don't know, whatever. I'm never really, when it comes to NA, I don't think I've ever really been in the wrong place, you know. And I had gone to a convention in Rockford a couple of weeks ago, met some new people, and made a point of, like, when you're a newcomer and you get a certain amount of phone numbers or something like that weekend, I made a point, I'm gonna, you know, meet 3 new friends and get 3 new phone numbers. And again, I might be outgoing and all that, which I am. I mean, I'm not shameful of it or anything, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily make friends or get, you know, deep and have good conversations any easier than anybody else. It's probably less easy for me in a way, because I think sometimes people assume maybe that, oh, she must have so many friends, you know, oh, she's always talking out there, oh, and people do the, oh, I wish I could be like you kind of stuff. And I'm like, I am really glad there's only one of me. I can't imagine anybody else having to be me, you know. I have a hard enough time as it is just being me. And when I called that friend on Tuesday or Wednesday, it's like, you know, you do get bored with some of the same old stuff. It's in our nature, you know, and that you know, nature that we had to, you know, skip around town and see where the better party was, or who had the better stuff, or where else can I go? I want a new hiding place. I want a new play place, whatever it might be. I still have that in me, and I do have a particularly strong wanderlust in me. And I do kind of what Phil mentioned. It's like I used to run around when I was using and find new places to hide. So now in recovery, I try to find new conventions or a new place to go or something. So I called that friend in Rockford and said, hey, what's our, excuse me, that I met in Rockford. She lives in Indiana. I'm like, hey, what's going on in your area? You know, maybe there's a picnic. It's got to be something Memorial Day weekend in almost any area. And I was like, you know, rather than going to my own little comfort zone, maybe, you know, you have anything going on? She's like, well, there is this camp out. But she kept saying camp out. So I just kept picturing the tents. And I cannot picture my, you know, broken bones and, you know, aging body here sleeping on a tent and mattress on a tent. And Colby, it's funny because I had heard about that story but I didn't know it was about you because I use a CPAP machine. And mine's real quiet, though, and it didn't wake anybody up. Did it, Isabel? You didn't mind it, did you? Okay. But so in my mind, and you know, it was funny, you know, I said to this girl, I said, you know what, as much as I really want to go, I don't think that a camp out is like a healthy choice for me. You know, I think I really need to focus on what's really truly good for my health. I have a sleep disorder, I have the sleep apnea, and I have insomnia, and I have you know, daytime sleepiness. I have some issues with that, and I don't think this is really conducive to my, you know, that part of me. And I was like, I really made this deep, like I really need to say no for me. And I hung up and I was like, there are things in life I'm going to have to say no to now that I'm a grown up. And she called me back the next day. She's like, you know, I was thinking, I don't want to manipulate you, but maybe I said it wrong. It's not really like a camp out. Like there's bedrooms and bathrooms and electricity. I'm like, send me the link. I'm going, you know. It's like I just needed to hear that, and I was so relieved. And I had such a good weekend. I really used to use conventions as my weekend away from my daughter so I can go have sex. That's what it used to mean to me for a long time. I haven't been, you know, acting out in that way in a number of years. So that felt, you know, good to be able to change and shift my focus from, you know, find my next victim to, you know, to finding a next good conversation or the next good campfire or the next song or whatever it might be. And I really feel so fulfilled, and I really am so grateful to be here. There's no other way to put it. Everybody else has put it, you know, in some other words. I don't believe that I have like any more remarkable words to say, but if I can just take that moment to, you know, look you all in the eye and tell you how much I genuinely appreciate all that you did and being here for me and, you know, making me feel worthy of time, making me feel genuinely welcomed, and reminded me that we have much more in common, very few differences really, and I really know that I'm leaving here, as I do most every convention, I'm leaving here with some new information, new connections to my emotions, some phone numbers that I've asked for, some people who've asked for mine. I'm hoping somebody, the most recent the most recent wonderful experience, somebody with about 70 or 80 days clean that I'd been seeing pretty regularly at this one meeting, and she had asked for my number. I wasn't at the meeting 3 weeks in a row, just I had to do something, and that's just the way it was in life. And this brand new newcomer, and she knows I have some time, but she called me, and she's like, hey, I just hope you're okay. I haven't seen you in the last 3 weeks at this meeting, and I nearly bawled like a baby, just feeling that she cared enough about me to check on me and call and see how I was. And I really needed that because I was feeling that I was giving a lot, and I just, sometimes I have to acknowledge that. I don't know if I'm getting my needs met. I might need to, ask for it. And it was really great that I felt that I got that from her, and I got that from a lot of you this weekend. So thank you so much for being here and listening. Hi. Thanks for all the wood banging you did, Rick.
Mac named Rick, and I'm up here sharing because I don't want to. And first, technology, I'm going to text during a meeting. Something was shared with me this morning that I felt important to share with you. So, put my hat on backwards. I'm an act named Drew. Taking time reflecting on fond memories, looking at contact lists to help prompt. You've left treasured memories in my heart, for which I'm grateful. All my love, Drew. And I'd ask take a moment in prayer for health and help for our friend Drew. I came in here almost hopeless. I'd been pushing a lot of things out of my life for months, consciously, and it got to that point where if I didn't ask for help, I was either going to die or use. With 17 years clean. My first experience with 17 years clean was when a sponsee brother of mine ate lead, and I had a year and a half clean. And I pretty much went to, what's the point? Is this what I have to look forward to? Here in workshops for a few years, for some reason, this hump in recovery has been brought to my attention, and I've shared it with other people, thinking that awareness would help me maybe avoid some of those pitfalls. And the disease said, nah. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to come in here, once again, broken, tired, feeling alone. And from the moment I got here, my higher power saw fit, take myself out of myself a little bit. And with all the little miracles and hugs, on Friday, I was able to help another addict that I didn't even know. Just pushed up, boom, boom, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's try getting a solution. On Saturday, I met someone that had been here for years, and I've been here for years, and he lives probably 35 miles from my house. And part of that pushing stuff away is for quite a few years I haven't had a sponsor. And I'm not even going to tell you I had a fool for a sponsor as myself, because that's not true either. And so Saturday I got a phone number from someone that I'm going to call next week to see what kind of relationship can be started. On Sunday, I asked two of my best and oldest friends in recovery for an intervention, because I could no longer go on like this. And it came from a place of weakness, not courage. And I'd been asking for time from one of them for, since Friday, since last weekend when we were camping together. And sat the two of them down, got honest, and asked for help. From my first meeting in NA, the one truth I know about this place, and especially the feeling here at Camp Mac, is that whenever an addict asks for help, higher power puts that mechanism of help right in front of me. And as long as I'm not in denial and say, oh no, fuck you, this is not what I thought was help, the beginning of that path to recovery is available to us all. And I want to thank you for that opportunity this weekend. And it's a new beginning for all of us. That's all I got.
I'm Matt called Dan. Every year is different for me here. When I came the first time, it was the first convention I ever went to. It just so happened there was only about 35 people here, and I think there's more than that here now yet. They made me feel welcome. They gave me this button that said it was my first convention, and everybody kept hugging me because of that. And somebody said they had 6 siblings and they couldn't isolate. I have 8 siblings and I could isolate. I learned how to do that early. I was different from the beginning. I have other siblings that could use this program. They've all found other ways to stay clean now, as far as I know, except for my oldest brother, and I still have him in my prayers a lot. And while I'm on the topic of age, and Drew is a dear friend of mine, and his health issues have been a big concern. Wish he could have been here this weekend and remembered him more than once this weekend and at the campfires. And I shared with somebody earlier today, I think it was Phil, that all my health issues have been sequenced in such a way that I haven't had to miss this function, and that it doesn't take me long to figure out or to find little things to be grateful for, and that's not too little. But every year I come here, I meet new people. Somehow or another, it just happens that I meet people that I connect with, and there's always so many people that have been here before that I want to reunite with and talk with more and build that relationship, and I get to do that in little pieces here and there, even being involved with the committee. This year's committee was special to me. We didn't start planning this until a little later. We all have busy lives, and it was like we had to do a fast forward when we got started, and everything fell together, and we did this in pretty in a very efficient way, and the way that everything got taken care of this weekend with the committee. I want to thank the committee that's still here. Not all of them are here anymore, but we had the shortest wrap-up meeting last night we've ever had, I think. I think by the time, before I know what happens, they're going to have this thing so efficient and technically based that they won't need me anymore to do the numbers and be there to make sure everything's in the right category. And that's what they keep telling me, that I got to be there for the wrap-up, just because of knowing what goes in what category and who we owe what, and to try to be responsible to this camp, and I have a special place in my heart for the camp also. Without you guys, we couldn't do it, and that's something that's been mentioned a couple times up here by other committee members specifically. The participation that we get from the people that come here is awesome. Anytime a little bit of service is available, somebody says, well, just go to Camp Colby. They'll have they're always there for us. But to find workshop speakers is never hard here. Sarah's not here to vouch for that. By Friday night, I think all the Saturday ones were filled, and it's just the way it takes work, but it's so easy with willing participants. So I can say from my perspective that it's a privilege to be a part of a committee that gets to work with a group like you guys that keep coming back. There's a reason why I keep coming back here. I multiple reasons, and I get reminded every year. Where's Maria at? There you are. It's smiling faces like that that make my weekend. Whether you were trying to hide or not. Yeah. I seen you. We'll get you on my mic one of these days. But I still have that ability to isolate. And soon after my first convention here was Chicago World, and I went up there with over 10,000 people, and I felt alone. And I recognize that, and I've worked on that in my recovery since I've been here. And the best way for me to address that is to be involved in a committee that puts something like this together, and the loving and caring and somebody said something about the amount of clean time here, the amount of clean time and recovery that I see in the group of people that work together to put this on is awesome. So thanks guys, and just keep coming back. We couldn't do it without you. So thanks.
My name is JJ. I'm an addict. Camp Vac's been very special to me for the last 30 years I've been coming.
Can't hear
you. Okay. It's become a part of me. Memorial Day weekend used to mean something totally different to me. Now I get to see old friends and meet new friends. I remember Saturday I walked from getting dinner to my cabin. It took me 2.5 hours to get there, and it's just a short walk. It's just I don't know. Had a lot of spiritual awakenings this weekend. I was sitting in that little meditation thing over here, and a hummingbird flew in. I haven't seen a hummingbird since I was 17. My dad passed away. I was very. That was very special to me. Friday we came down here, and just me and my wife, and I don't think I've seen her for 20 minutes. And then Saturday we decided to take the kids down here. I'm like, oh man, they're gonna be up my butt. And I still ain't seen one of them. You know, they found friends, and you know, that's what this is about. This is a family disease, you know. This is my family, you know. This is just somewhere where I belong. I feel a part of today. You know, it's just been a magical weekend for me, and I appreciate it all. That's all I got.
Thanks.